Hello, can you hear me and see me clearly? Can we get started? If you can hear me clearly, say in the chat window so that we can get started. Hi, good evening and welcome once again. In first three sessions that we did, we have covered the basic overview of class, how to set up the Google Ad account, and how to get up to 60,000 credits if you need credit from Google. And then we talked about how to set up the ad account, the campaign structure, and everything else you need to know about the Google Ads. After that, we set up the conversions. So we did a session on conversion tracking. Can you guys hear me clearly? Awesome. So after that, we did a session on conversion tracking where we set the goals to Google Tag Managers. And in the last class, that was on Tuesday, we took care of the search campaign initial setup. So some part was covered, and I'll continue from there. So if you want to have some idea of what was covered in the earlier sessions, you can go ahead and watch the video that we released on Tuesday, and the live session video from Tuesday. You can watch it now. So we discussed about the search basic settings, then we talked about bidding, then we talked about something called customer acquisition settings. This is important. How do you adjust your bidding for new customer versus the existing customers? This is what we discussed. Then we came into campaign settings. Here we discussed few things. We talked about Google search and Google display network partners, how your ad appear in Google when you choose these options, and when and why you should choose these options. So if you really want to understand the significance of these two options and when to use them, then obviously watch the video from Tuesday. Then we talked about the location options. So location broadly, there are 3-4 options. One is if you want to show your ad globally, which is I don't know anybody use this option, because if you do this then you will end up losing all your budget irrespective of what budget you have within seconds, and you won't even realize. So don't do that mistake. Always make sure that your ad is configured in a way that it is delivered in a particular location that you choose carefully. Then country, if you want to do a pan India ad, you can choose India, or if you want a different country, if you are running ad for a different location, any location you can choose from here. You can do ad in Paris running from here. Now here there are three options. There is include, which means you want to target the city. There is exclude, which means if you want to exclude a particular city or location from your target. Include means you want some people to see ad in this particular location. Exclude means you don't want to see like show your ad in a particular location. Nearby means city and the nearby area. So these are the nearby locations. So once you do nearby, you'll get all the nearby locations around that city. And then this reach means the total number of audience. This reach simply means total number of audience in that particular locality. If you click on advanced search, you will get some advanced options. So here you can use radius targeting also. So radius has two modes. One is pin mode, so you can drop a pin on a particular area, and then Google will give you an option to include 20 miles around this pin. So anywhere in this map, let's say you want to pin down and go to a particular geography in Bangalore, you can, let's say you drop your pin in Hosur, which is an area in Bangalore. You want to do a radius 20-mile targeting, you can include that. If you want to add it and reduce the size from 20 to maybe 5, and if you don't understand miles, you can convert this into kilometers. So your ad will be targeted in this particular location only if you use pin mode. If you don't want to use pin mode, then there is one more option. You can enter the location name here. If you are, let's say, running an ad for a local business, let's say you're running an ad for a salon in Hosur, uh, you can use that business location. So let's say you want to run ad for this particular business, so you can copy this business name, go here, enter the place here. So you are including this, and then you say that because it's a salon, I expect people from 5 kilometers, around 5 kilometers, to come to my salon. So I don't know whether 20 kilometers people will travel. So 5 kilometers is a like reasonable target. So I want people from 5 kilometers from this location to travel and get a haircut or maybe use my salon services. Similarly, let's say you have a school. So these are school admission seasons. So you want to search for a school in Hosur, and let's say this school, this is MS Dhoni Global School. So there is an MS Dhoni school in Hosur. You can use this, and let's say I want to target a 5 kilometer radius from this school. There are so many. This one is Hosur. So let's say I include this, and then default setting is 5 kilometers, but in case of school I want to target 8 kilometers or maybe 10 kilometers. So I simply change it, and the radius will automatically reach to 10 kilometer size. Okay, so this is the default setting. This is what you can use when you are running ad for a local business. Okay, so now there is another setting, that is excluding. So important for you to understand that you also need to exclude certain geographies when you are running ad. So let's say you are running ad for a salon in this particular area, but there is a IT park. So there are a lot of people work in an IT park who are not from this local area. So you feel that people who are working 9 to 6, they may not be able to visit your salon. So you are running ad, let's say the same salon which we chosen earlier. Let's say this one, this is what we chose earlier. So simple reasoning is that maybe people who are working, they will not be able to take out time from office, and because they see my ad, I end up wasting a lot of money, right? So 10 kilometers, and let's say in 10 kilometers there is an IT park in a particular area. Let me So there is an IT park which says Hosur IT Park, which is on National Highway Krishnagiri. So I want to exclude this particular location. This is different Hosur, I think. Okay, but anyway, we will search a location nearby. So we are targeting 20 miles from this. I'll change it to, let's say, 5 kilometers. I've changed it to 5 kilometers, and now within this, I don't want my ad to be visible in this location called Mathigiri, right? So I'll type Giri. So Mathigiri I can choose and then exclude it from the location. So instead of including, I can use the exclude option, and I can exclude this particular location from my targeting, and the moment I exclude, my ad will not be visible in that particular location. Okay, now this is the setting for location. Now go to radius, location, and then let's say Mathigiri. So you want to exclude this particular geography. Okay, let me find out a location that we can exclude. Thorapalli. Maybe it's too small, that's why it's not visible. But anyway, if you want to exclude a particular location, KAMANDO. Yeah, so we got this to be excluded. So we want to exclude this location. That means this location our ad will not be visible, but it is visible in the 5 kilometer area that we have chosen earlier, right? Here it is visible and there is some overlap, so I don't want to my ad to be visible then in that particular location. I can set it like this. Now there is another option which says add locations in bulk. So you have, let's say you run a business where there are a lot of franchisee available, so there are hundreds of locations, so you can add all the location in a notepad or an excel sheet, copy and paste here, and it will automatically pick all the locations. So it is for businesses that have multiple locations. Now language setting we already discussed. This all you need to do is just select a no, because this EU political ad is a new category. Because we are not running ad in EU, we simply need to do a no here. So we have done all the settings that was required here: network, location, language, EU political. Now there is something called audience segment. Now let's say we were targeting, so default setting is that uh, the search result or search ad work on a particular keyword, but you want to be very specific and you only want to target a particular location. Let's say we were discussing in the earlier example of location, there were two things we were discussing, right? We were discussing school and we were also discussing a saloon, right? So let's talk about school. Do you want to target people who are not parents when you you want? So there may be a lot of people who are just doing random searches about school in Hosur and they may end up clicking on your ad. But do you really want to show your ad to people who are not parents? Maybe don't, right? You want specifically people who are parents of preschoolers. Can you guys see my screen? So this category, let's say you want to target, or maybe parents of toddlers you want to target, because these are the people who would definitely look for schools. And if these are the people who are looking for schools, they are my premium target. So parents of teens maybe because in 10th and 12th, after 10th board, many parents have to change the schools because of availability of particular stream that their kids have chosen. So you may specifically want to only target these people and not target these people if this is your campaign, right? Now this could be one definite category. Then another example, let's say let me uncheck these people. Another example is that even if there are people who are searching for a salon, but you don't want to target everybody, your salon is specifically for people who are like a female, maybe on a particular gender you want to target. They are married or single, you want to target on that basis. Are they working or they have their own homes? What is the education level? You want to target people who have certain education level for your salon, maybe possible, right? Similarly, let's say you want to target people who are a special category. Special category means who have a special interest in beauty and finance, banking and finance, beauty and wellness. Your salon is of a very specific type, and you want to target people who frequently visit salons. Not everybody will be visiting salon, and even if they search, they might end up just clicking and not converting. So in that case, you want to specifically target people who are beauty mavens or frequent visitor of the salon. So you have that data with Google. So in that case, though this is a search campaign, your ad will only be visible when people are searching, but still you can be very specific and you can target people those fit in your category perfectly. Similarly, there are other categories. So you want to target people who are frequent shoppers. Maybe those are the people who end up spending a lot of money in salon also. For a particular different kind of campaign, you want to target for an event, you want to target technophiles. That could be a very good category. Let's say you're running an event in a particular location in Bangalore, you can choose those guys based on this. So this is an affinity category. Affinity means those are the people who search for a specific thing, interested in a specific thing. So this is kind of cohort. Then this is interesting. So every time you do a search on Google about something, maybe in 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you start seeing ads. Those are very similar to what you have searched, right? You see those kind of ads, right? Let's say you did a search on schools, and within 10 minutes you will start seeing ads for schools in your area. Then let's say you did a search for auto or vehicles, you did a search for motor vehicle, you watched some video about a new car that has been launched, you talked about maybe visited websites that sell used cars. So you can use that as a category. And every time you, when you use certain keywords or maybe research certain topic extensively with an intent of making a transaction, Google will automatically mark you as an in-market audience. And the moment you are marked as an in-market audience for a particular category, let's say for beauty and personal care, you're searching for some salons or beauty products, hair care products, you're immediately marked in market for this category. And even this, in this category there are specific categories. So skincare products you're looking for, are you looking for beauty services, are you looking for perfumes or makeup or cosmetics? So whatever you are searching on internet, based on that Google will mark you in a particular category as an in market audience, and your ad will only be visible if you choose that in market audience or interest in your category. Now so these are public data. So demographic is nothing related to you, affinity is related to your audience, not related to you, in market is also related to audience based on their activity outside your website. Now here is another category where you have an option to create a segment based on whether they have interacted with your business. So this is kind of a remarketing process, not extensively remarketing, but let's say you want to target people who have already been interacting with your business. So you can create a new segment, upload data from your existing customers, add a customer list, or maybe connect your Google Analytics, or you can also connect your YouTube. You only have to link your YouTube channel, only then you can connect this, that is understood. So or your app user or a website users, people who are visiting your website, you can connect those people here, and you can use that as a segment for retargeting purpose. So when they search, only then your ad will appear, right? Then you can do a combined audience segment, like you can combine multiple people and create a new segment for yourself and target those people. Now if you see this setting below this, this is very interesting. Now let's say you have chosen certain categories. Now do you want Google to target only those categories? Let's say I run a salon and I went here and I chosen beauty and wellness here, and in this in market category I have chosen beauty and personal care. Okay, now these are two affinity categories I have chosen, beauty and wellness and beauty and personal care. And mind you, this is not an exclusive, like it's not a one filter on the other. If you want to create one filter on the other, then you have to do combine audience. These are like this, Google will show add to this category all the affinity audience also and in market audience also. If you want to apply one filter on the other, then you have to combine the segments. Now here this setting says that what do you want to do? Do you want to target people only those who are in your segment? So first option is that you want to target people who are in this segment. Okay, which means your ad will strictly be visible to people who fit in this category. The second option is observation, which means Google will not narrow down your search or reach of your campaign, but if you give them an option, they will give more priority. So if people from these two categories are searching, they will be the first one to see your ad. So your ad budget will be utilized in a way that these people who fall into these categories will be prioritized when your ad is visible. But if Google feels that somebody outside this category can also fit into your target, they will definitely show your ad to them as well. Let's say on a particular day, uh, maybe a husband is searching for a salon for his wife, right? If you exclude those people in gender, then they will not be able to see your ad. But if your Google feels that this customer who is particularly searching for a salon might end up converting, so they will still show your ad if you have chosen the option second. In the first option, your ad will only be visible to people who have been chosen in your category. So be careful of what you're choosing, and this varies business to business. There is no standard rule who should be part of your campaign. There are a lot of use cases, and based on your individual business you should decide whether you should target this or go for the second option. Now other setting which is very important here is ad rotation. Now what is ad rotation? Any questions, doubt about the demographic targeting, audience segment? If this is okay, then we'll go to ad rotation. So what ad rotation means is that Google will try to show your best performing ad to all the audience. Now what happens is, let's say you created 2-3 campaigns or 2-3 different ads within your campaign. Now Google by default in the initial stage, it will try to optimize your ad in a way that every ad gets a specific attention from the user, and once they see that a particular ad is performing better than the other, then they obviously go with that particular ad and they will start showing the best performing ad automatically. Now what happens is, let's say one ad got a preferential treatment from the user and other ad, unfortunately, even if it was a better quality of campaign, it was not able to get the initial traction, but the sample size was very small. So initially Google targeted a particular audience segment and they responded to a particular ad within your campaign. But there are other ad copies which are even better, and they didn't get the justice because they were not served enough to the initial sample, or initial sample did not give you enough traction for that particular ad. Now what happens is, Google will automatically decide, like very quickly decide that yes, this ad is better than the other ones, so they will discard the 5 ad which had a good potential. So what you should do is, initially when you run a campaign, choose this setting. Let's say that do not optimize the ad rotation till the time I decide to do it. Or okay, then there is something called use automate ad rotation, which means automatically show your best ad at the auction time. So this simply means that when the ad is visible, when the final auction is coming, Google will decide which ad should go in a particular bid in the real time. So this option you can use this, apply this, but in the initial stage when you are just starting your campaign, choose this option which says do not optimize, rotate ads indefinitely. You can come back later, maybe your ad is running for 15-20 days, you have enough sample size to decide that yes, now I will go for best performing ad, then you can come back and change this setting. Okay, now any confusion here? Guys, are you able to hear me? Now let's go into more settings. I'll close this one. Start and end date is there's nothing extraordinary about this. Ideally you should have an end date for every campaign. That's what I do every time I run a campaign. Do not put a campaign that is running indefinitely, because sometimes what happens is you forget to switch off a campaign, and because when there are hundreds of campaign, it might end up getting a lot of your budget without even delivering good results. Okay, so be careful with that, because if it is a good budget and if you are not properly setting it up, then it can create a problem. Next is ad schedule. So ad schedule is a very important concept, and there is something called time sculpting or ad sculpting, which means let's assume, take an example, let's say a saloon is a good example, right? So I told you earlier also, right? There are people who would go to office 9 to 6. So if you are a saloon and if you are advertising online, then it's possible that Monday to Friday, let's say Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday, between 9 to 6, you have a different behavior. So maybe you get less response between 9 to 6 p.m. So you choose this as one category, and then you have Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, Sunday you get very good response. So Saturday, Sunday also you get a very good response in early morning. So you got a really good response starting from, let's say, 7 a.m. in the morning to let's say 7 p.m. So from morning 7 to evening 7 p.m. on Saturdays and Sunday, you get a really good response in your campaign. But there are other times of the day when you don't get that quality response. So Saturday, Sunday, you have from 19 till let's say 10:30. There's a different behavior from your audience, and from 10:30 to 00 hours, there's a different behavior, right? So on a Saturday and Sunday, morning 7 to evening 7, people really want to use saloon services. From 11 to 12:30, maybe people who are more interested in discount, they might interested in coming. And then from 10:30 to late night, midnight, there will not be many people coming to saloon, right? So this way you can decide. So let's say why we bifurcated our day into three categories. So we have morning 7 to evening 7, and evening 7 to midnight, 10:30, and 10:30 to midnight. Then there is one more setting that you need to do on a Saturday and Sunday from midnight to 7 a.m. in the morning. So we have covered the entire weekend, right? There is no overlapping, and we have covered the entire weekend. So morning 7 to evening 7, all the entire day is covered. So we have added a schedule like this, we have created an ad schedule like this now. And Monday to Friday also we have created the schedule, because Monday to Friday we feel that early morning people might be interested in using the salon services. So Monday to Friday, maybe 7 to 9 we get good response, because before going to office, before leaving for office, people may want to use the salon quickly for a quick grooming session. So 7 to 9 we want people to see our ad. And then we have done 9 to 6, there's a category. And then also Monday to Friday, let's say evening, after 6, from 6 to 10, people might still be interested in using our salon services. Now I'll tell you the logic behind why we are doing this. From 18 to midnight, we use a single category of such as, then you have midnight to morning 7. So we are showing our ad 24 into 7. We are not stopping our ad. We have covered all the days of the week and all the time that we have, right? But we did this setting just to make sure that, let's say I'm getting a very good, so what will happen is when you see your report, this is an initial setup, you don't have any data, but when you see your report, when you actually see your report, search campaign report after 15-20 days, you'll see that Monday to Friday, morning 9 to 6, I have a slow response. maybe I get some good like maybe housewives who want to use, people who are not working, they want to use the salon, but people who are office goers, they are not coming. And maybe my salon services are such that I get more corporate audiences, so I'll get a slow response during this time period. So what you can do is, during this time you can reduce your bid by, let's say, 20-25%. So usually, let's say you're paying 100 rupees for a click, if you reduce it by 25-30%, then you only pay 75 rupees, because in that category you are bidding less, you are not changing your bid strategy, but you're reducing it by 20%. You're giving instruction to Google, though it's an automated bidding, but you're still giving instruction to Google that don't show my ad, like I don't want to pay higher to see for my ad to be visible during this time period. So this is how you do the days clumping. So based on this, you'll get a lot of data in your report for every time segment that you're choosing, and based on this you can actually use this data for your future analysis and optimization. We don't have a page feed here, but you can create a page feed if your page is connected. This is specifically useful for Shopify websites or the D2C websites that have the page feed. So we have covered all the basic settings of the campaign. We have covered the network. I talked about this in detail. You want to watch the video previous, you can do that. Locations, we have discussed extensively about locations. Then languages also we discussed in last video. EU political ad is not something important for you because you don't have to worry about this. Then audience segment, we discussed audience segment extensively. Ad rotation, I'm sure you are clear by now what ad rotation means. Then start and end date. By default, always put an end date to any campaign, otherwise sometimes you may end up losing the budget. Then you have ad schedule. So ad schedule is very critical. You can convert your day in that kind of category, and it goes from business to business. So there are some business, let's say you are running a B2B campaign. This is a salons, we're discussing a salons idea. Similarly, let's say you're running a B2B campaign where you want people to see your ad only when they're in office, because this is a corporate solution. You're selling a SaaS software and you want people only to see your ad between Monday to Friday, because you feel that if they see your ad on Saturday and Sunday, they may not be able to decide. They will see the ad, but they will end up forgetting about it when the time come to decide. So you only want to, so this, depending on your business case, divide your day in such a way that you are able to adjust your bidding when the actual ad report comes, when you have the lot of data about the performance of your campaign. So what you need to remember here is, there should not be a time in a day when your ad is not visible. It should be visible 24/7, because you want to capture the maximum attention. But you can adjust the bid. Maybe there are some times in a day where you want to definitely be visible. You can increase your bid by 10-20%. If you don't want to be visible in a particular time period, then you can reduce your bid by 10-20%. So you, in the same budget, you get a additional opportunity to optimize your campaign, right? Page feed, we don't have a page feed here. This if this was a D2C campaign, maybe when we are setting up the shopping campaign, we'll see in a different account, we'll see if we can show you the page feed option. Okay, campaign URL is slightly advanced setting. We'll discuss when we do the setting for search campaign, when we are actually running the URL setting. Now here it's a simple setting, but it's very important. So Google has launched a new feature called AI Max. So AI Max, what it does is, it helps you improve your ad by giving you some option to actually boost your campaign. So you can do something called, if you want to use this option, you can optimize your campaign with AI Max. So you switch this on, and what will happen is, Google will use the text from your website, landing page, ad and provided asset to create a customized ad copy. So what has been happening so far is that we used to supply the ad copy to Google. Then they created something called responsive campaign. So in responsive campaign, you give different combination of headline, subheadline and description. Google will use that headline, subheadline and description to create an ad copy, final ad copy, which according to them is most likely convert a customer for you. Now this is slightly advanced version of a responsive ad. What happens here is if you give this option of custom text customization, then what it does is it will pick certain keywords, certain text from your website, the URL, website URL that you have. It can also use the landing page that you have supplied specifically. It can also use the ad copies that you have supplied specifically, or the asset or videos or banners to create a customized ad copy. So this AI Max happens in all the campaign types, but for a search campaign, this is what it does. So it takes some characters, some information from your website, from your landing page, from your ads, and insert that into your ad copy, and Google feels that that particular ad copy might be able to convert more, right? Similarly, by default, when we are setting up a campaign, we try to send the traffic to a specific page only. We want to send the traffic to a landing page, right? That's the setting when we are running an ad. But sometimes if Google feels that a particular page, let's say you are running a campaign, so we have one of customer who is a forex service provider, so they sell forex to people who are traveling. So sometimes they have a page that is more like a calculator. So you want to calculate the currency difference, how much you will get for a particular currency when you are converting that currency in from X to Y, how much you will get. So if you want to use that information for making decision, you might search certain keyword like you will search something like how much I will get from USD to INR today. So let's say you're doing a search like that. One option is that you can land on a page where you actually get your currency to be converted. Other option is that Google might also land you on a calculator page where you can calculate how much exactly you will get. So in the second case, there are chances that you will end up converting better. Similarly, for the saloon campaign or for maybe schools campaign that we were discussing, Google might expand the URL to reach on a page on a website. So obviously it will be your website page only. It's a different URL from your website. So let's say a specific parent is searching for sports facility in the school, right? So one is that by default, if you have a landing page, Google might land you on a landing page that talks about filling up the form and other things. You as a parent may not be able to decide whether it's the right form or right page for you, admission form for you. But if you give an opportunity to give URL expansion to Google, then what can happen is that it can land on your school's website's sports facility page, and there also you have a form where people can apply for admission, or they may be use the contact us form, right? So this is how final URL expansion works. It can pick any URL, most relevant URL on your website, which is most likely to get better result in that particular moment for that particular audience. Now what you can do, if you want to give this option, let's say you want to give permission for this, but you don't want to give permission for this could be one scenario. Other scenario is that you give permission for this also, but you are saying that even in that case, I don't want you to send traffic to, let's say, blog pages. So you can create a URL, you can add URL, or you can like enter the URL here, like you can add multiple URL here. If you want to build a rule, you build a rule. Let's say that you can say all the URL that has blogs in it, don't take my traffic to people where like traffic to a specific page that has blogs, like has the word blog. So maybe all the blog pages on your website contains this word, right? There is a keyword called blog or blogs in the URL. You can simply add that here, and Google will not take your website visitor to this particular all the pages that has the word blog in it, right? Then within services, maybe on a particular campaign, You don't want people to visit on a specific page, let's say all the guides page. You don't want people to go to a page that has all the guides. So maybe you are creating a lot of guides for people for to attract organic visitors, but you don't want your paid traffic to go there because that conversion cycle is longer and you may end up wasting a lot of effort and money, right? So you can exclude those people. So all the pages that contains guides, I don't want my traffic, like my paid traffic, to go there. Possible, right? So this is how you can use this setting if you are giving this permission. So this is called AI Max. So people talk about how to do AI Max. This is what AI Max is basically, right? Now there is something more here. So you have included AI Max. Now there is something called brand list. So brand list is very simple. Let's say you let's say you are a salon owner and you sell some product also. You sell some product from Nika. So you want people who are there is no brand list, you can create a new brand list. You can enter the list name like branded products, and here you enter the brand. You want traffic from people who are searching for Nika products, right? You want them to visit your store, visit your salon. So you can use the branded list to include. Similarly, uh, you don't want to bring people who are looking for something online, like excluded brands. Let's say you don't want to waste budget on people who are searching for products on Amazon, or maybe you don't sell a specific product from M&S. You can just exclude M&S from here. So this becomes a list. So you can keep adding list here and here also. So all your branded list, and Google will not show your ad to those people who have specific brand mentioned in the keyword. Let's say if I use a particular keyword which says Nika hair glow cream or something like that. In that case, my ad will be visible. And if I say that M&S hair cream and I'm running an ad for salon, I don't want people to see my ad when they are searching M&S keyword. So I can put M&S here in the excluded brand. So this is how this setting works. For a B2B also, like for a software company, maybe you want to target people who are searching for specific keyword. Let's say you are a Zoho services company. So now everyone who is searching for Zoho, you want your ad to be visible. But there are people who would also search something like Salesforce CRM. Do you want people to see your ad when they are searching for Salesforce? If the answer is yes, then you can put them into included brands. If the answer is no, then you should put them into excluded brands. So this is how this setting works. Okay. Now, so far we have covered AI Max. We have covered brand exclusion and inclusion. We have covered campaign settings, all the settings related to location, language, audience, inclusion and all. So this is where we reach. Now here is what it gets interesting. Now you have to enter the website URL. By the way, this is our community of AI agency accelerator. So if you really want to learn how to build AI agents, how to create a campaign on Google and Facebook, how to use niche selection process to build your agency in a specific niche. So this is for all the freelancers, people who want to learn, grow and launch their own agencies. We have complete modules on Google Ads, on Facebook Ads, on AI agents. So there are a lot of around 19 AI agents that are already pre-built, and our team launch a new AI agent every week. Then we have option that helps you close sales on high ticket clients. Then you have AI powered client fulfillment. So you get almost 8 courses and lot of other study material. If you want to launch your own agency or build your business as a freelancer, this is one of the best communities available in India. So you can definitely explore if you're interested. So I'll add my website URL here, and it will start generating. You can still add asset. Okay, so it will start generating the keyword and assets based on the URL I have added. In case you get this message, then you will have to enter the keywords manually. You can enter your product and service, what you want to advertise. You, let's say you want to learn digital marketing course. So you can add your product and service like this, and Google will start showing you keywords based on what you have entered in the first. And this is where things get interesting. Now we are in a segment where we have to enter the keyword. So all the settings that you did so far till your AI max, that was on the campaign level. Now we are on the ad group level. Here we'll decide the keywords, we'll decide the ad particular keyword, and we'll put them in different segments. So we'll cover this entire process of selecting the keywords and finally launching your ad campaign in the next class that is happening tomorrow. So for today I put the class at rest because I don't think we will be able to cover the entire ad creation process in one class itself. We'll definitely complete this in the next class. We'll talk about all the settings on the ad group level for the search campaign. So see you in the next class. Make sure you set up your own ad campaign if you can, so that you can also practice while we are studying with you. Okay. Alright, so thank you so much, and I'll see you in tomorrow's class, where we will discuss about building the keywords, creating the ad and ad copies, and finally launching your search campaign. So hopefully we'll complete this exercise by tomorrow. Alright, thank you so much and good night. Make sure you complete your assignments that are included in this session.